morning. Um, Figured I'd do just a quick recording in EverQuest 2. Just want to play a little bit before work. I have roughly 20 minutes, maybe a little bit more, before cutting it close. So as you can see, I finally got Vaxton, my Dark Elf Assassin, to level 70, as well as level 70 Jeweler. I have to say, this character was probably the hardest to do solo, as far as getting to 70. There was a particular quest in the Bone Mire off of the Isle of Ravisac where I had to fight this level 70 3-star monster. When I was playing my Necromancer Conjurer, it was easy because pretty much they have tank pets that I could use to kind of take the blow, and they just did the DPS. Even my Wizard, I thought my Wizard was going to be kind of hard, but I managed to take it down. It just proves how awesome the spells wizards have. Does a lot of damage, so I was able to, of course wizards also can kind of chain or root the creature, so that kind of helped out as well. So what I ended up having to do is I got to about level 68, attempted the quest again, got smashed. So then I broke down and finally hired a mercenary. So mercenaries, they used to have in EverQuest, like the original EverQuest, so they kind of carried that over to EverQuest 2. I see a lot of players roaming around with mercenaries. I felt that, since I'm playing solo, I want to play kind of true to myself with this game. Trying to get through it, but unfortunately I had to break down, hire the mercenary. So the mercenary I hired was a Shadow Knight, another tank class, and so went back out to the Bone Mire, got everything set up, had the Shadow Knight attack it. Pretty much the monster did kill my mercenary, but managed to get it low enough level that by the time it was attacking me, I was able to bring it down. A lot of the help getting through the rest of the levels was leveling in Kailong Plains. Apologize that I didn't quite record that. But anyways, I'm moving on. Now that I got Vaxton out of the way, I started playing Zarsi. She is my level 60 Dark Elf Berserker. I'm sure you're going to see a theme here. I really like Dark Elves, so that's going to be kind of what my characters are. So I've got some Dark Elves, I have a Wood Elf, High Elves, and then I've got also a Rotanga and a Kara. Pretty much they're the cat people. So this is my Beast Lord, low level. This is just kind of it's a new class, Beast Lord, to EverQuest 2, so I'm trying it out. Pretty much Beast Lords have a pet, kind of like what you would see hunters have in World of Warcraft itself. So again, we're going to go ahead and work on Zarsi. Where I left off when I started playing Zarsi was I finished the lore and legend for Clockwork. So I went out to Steamfont, fought some Clockwork creatures, our monsters, to kind of get the updates for it, got that completed. I've moved back to the Lesser Faydark, which is what I'm loading into now, to finish up a few quests here, just to kind of, like I said, I want to wrap up the zone, so that way I'm not kind of leaving anything lingering. So you're going to kind of watch me do some gameplay in the Lesser Faydark. Again, I have about maybe 15-20 minutes. 25 would be pushing it, but hope you enjoy. Okay, so the quest that I'm going to work on, just because of where I'm at, is called Lock and Key. what I have to do is attempt to open the portal with the strain rune object that I had gathered from a previous quest. So I'm heading up to where that portal is now. I'm just kind of running through mobs that I, don't really want to fight. Oh, there's a shiny, so I'll go ahead and grab that. Okay, excuse me. As you can see, that blue light is pretty much the portal, so we're going to go ahead and finish this quest up. So I got the update, so now I have to defeat the 4 elemental monks that stand before me in the training circle. So the first one is going to be the Fist of Earth. So I'm trying to do as much damage. I do have some health potions just in case. Typically the 4 elemental monks are pretty easy to fight. It's the last guy that can be a bit tough because he kind of knocks back and really knocks you back. So next person is the Fist of Water. So the remaining characters I have left to get to 70 are all going to be warrior type classes. So I have this Berserker, I have a Guardian, and then I have a Bruiser. So Bruisers are similar to a monk style class. They're just, that's what the evil side calls monks is Bruisers. Whew. So, my fault. Kind of went up to this guy, and he kind of aggroed. So I'm going to sit here so that way I don't start the fight with Fist of Air. I do want to get my health back up without having to use one of my health potions. Want to kind of keep that for super dire needs since I only have 3 left. My health is pretty good, so I'm going to go ahead and get this one fought. Doing a lot of heroic opportunities, they can do a little bit more damage, so that's just going to kind of help move things along. Alright, as you can see, I have reached, oh, let me switch over to my adventure level. So I've reached this mark here, so the blue line goes all the way to the end, and then that fills up a section of this yellow-orange color. So anytime that you finish a section, pretty much your health goes right back up. So I'm good to go. I can go ahead and start fighting this Fist of Fire. Alright, now that that's taken care of, the last... So I get the update. So now I must defeat Zeta Vorash in combat. This is the last guy. I'm going to go ahead and stand to the side, let my health kind of gather itself, and definitely I'm going to kind of review my skills. It's been a while since I played my Berserker, so I want to make sure that I'm prepared for this fight. I want to make it as easy for myself as possible. Okay, since I decided to do Abandoned Fury, obviously you can see what it increases on a melee hit as a spell cast Furious Assault on a target attack, so it inflicts like more damage. I decided to go with that instead of Unflinching Will. So with Unflinching Will, if I had that set for myself, I would then be able to use Vision of Madness. Pretty much if I had died, the spell will cast Madness on myself, heals me, puts me, so it kind of heals me, so that's like a sort of a last resort before I die sort of thing. But I'm going to go ahead and try fighting without having to use that. So this Unyielding Will kind of does the same thing, but the Vision of Madness is a little bit better, because unfortunately when you use Unyielding, what it does is it applies Exploding Heart on termination. So pretty much once this spell completes healing me, and if I haven't killed the person or the creature, monster, whatever I'm fighting, in a timely manner, this is going to pretty much explode, and I'm going to die anyways. So that's why I don't really like using that one as much. Let's see here. Alright, so I got Wall of Rage that I'll probably cast, Controlled Rage, and kind of these along with this one. So they're like 30-second duration, so I'm going to do a quick succession of casting them. And then we're going to go ahead and just run in and fight. Probably help if I targeted said person. See, that's exactly. So this is exactly why I want to keep my health potion for this guy specifically. Go ahead and chug one down. Pretty much, since I'm in the middle of the fight, I'm going to use all attacks that I have, including AoEs, because I don't have to worry about unnecessarily getting any other monsters to join this fight. Alright, so I managed to defeat him. So I obtained Wu's Ancient Weapon, which updates Lock and Key, so now I need to return to Sharina. That was a little close. I was like almost thinking that maybe I should have used Vision of Madness, but it worked out. So now, unfortunately, I'm down to 2 health potions. I gotta find a way of either buying more or finding maybe an alchemist can make it. So I have an alchemist myself, so I'll probably check to see if she can make health potions, because that's going to be very key. Okay, so I have a few more minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and use the Stable Master to ride to Loping Plains, so I can go ahead and turn in this quest to Sharina. I believe this will wrap up the quest for her in Lesser Faydark. It will give me a new quest, which then prompts me to head towards the Loping Plains to start the quest there. So I'll probably remove that from my view of quests that I'm working on, because I don't want to quite go to Loping Plains just yet. Okay, so I've made it to the camp. This is the Night Bright camp that is near the Loping Plains entrance. I'm going to go ahead and turn in the quest to Sharina. Alright, so I picked up one for the road. This is where I have to deliver the sealed box to retainer Bashanti at Sunborn in the Loping Plains. So again, we're going to go ahead and uncheck that quest because we're not going to work on it. But it also allows me to pick up a quest from Grund. Essentially, there's another ogre that I have to find and kill and then bring back. So pretty much I need to find and kill Urt. So he spawns kind of back where I was at near the butcher block. Since I still have a few more minutes, I'm going to go ahead and just knock that one out. So you'll probably see him pop up as I'm heading to that station at Butcher Block. So I'll probably just jump off the horse, fight him real quick, and then run back to Loping Plains to kind of wrap up. The other quests kind of require a little bit more focus and more time. The other quest that I have is Acting on a Hunch and Reverse Engineering Part 2. They take place in the same area, a Thexian camp where some of the Thexians are heroic, so I have definitely have to take my time, hopefully fighting one by one, so that way I'm not kind of overdoing it. And then the last quest is Mycotoxins from A to Z. Pretty much I have to go to a cave and pick like bracken, kind of like they're little like mushrooms that will grow off the side of the walls in the cave. So with that one, it's not really heroic monsters, but I do have to fight some mushroom monsters. So you'll see what I mean. I plan to hopefully record that part just to kind of show you wrapping up Lesser Faydark. So almost there. Or it should be popping up here. There he is. So I'm going to go ahead and just take him out. The other thing that I'll be working on in Lesser Faydark is I'd like to finish up the lore and legend for brownies. And I'm not talking about Girl Scouts. Brownies, of course, are mythical creatures. Pretty much in EverQuest 2, they're just little tiny people, kind of similar to fairies, but they just don't have wings, so you'll see what I mean. Pretty much they use like small versions of like wood elves to indicate brownies in Lesser Faydark. So there's a few items I have to pick up for that quest to study to finish it out. So I'll be definitely... Hopefully it won't take me too long to finish that one. Usually it doesn't. Alright, so got my update. So I killed Urt, so I'm heading back to the Nightbright camp to return to Grund to finish that quest. I know you're probably wondering why I'm talking a little bit more than I usually do with my recordings. just trying to kind of get used to it. I want to explain what I'm doing, so that way you can kind of go along versus just watching me, go back and forth killing creatures and monsters of different types. I remember when EverQuest 2 first started, I was just kind of thinking about how easy it is now to kind of travel to places within a zone. When EverQuest first started, this is way before the Lesser Faydark zone was even there. You would fight, on the first little island, just like a tutorial island to get you to level 10. Then you would go to your major city, which was either Kinos for good side, Freeport for the evil side, and then you would go out and fight in Antonica on the or Common Lands. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're good or evil; you could fight in both. And so that would essentially get you to level 20. And then at that point, you could then go to Thundering Steppes or Nectilus Forest. So either way, so that was kind of the first time they introduced. I think Antonica also had Griffin stations, but I remember in order to use the Griffin station in either Thundering Steppes or Nectilus Forest, you had to go and find Griffin eggs. So you would visit the Griffin station, pick up the quest to find the eggs, and you had to run to where they were found, and then turning into the Griffin station that just happened to be in that spot. So there you could then fly around and whatever. You can still pick up the quest to find those Griffin eggs, but essentially all the Griffin stations, all the flight masters, horse mounts, whatever gets you through the zone is available to anybody to use. So you actually don't have to unlock it anymore. So like I said, it's come a long way, made it much easier. But enough of that. So I turned in the quest to Grund, so that finished that up. So about halfway through level 60, I'm going to go ahead and, since I have a few more minutes, I'm going to go ahead and just take the stable master to where I need to go. I figured I'm just going to go ahead and knock out the reverse engineering part 2 and acting on a hunch on my next video. So this is probably the shortest video I've recorded for EverQuest 2. As you may see, because I know this is recording pretty much the whole screen, down at the bottom on my taskbar, I do have the original EverQuest sort of like loading page. It's installing or updating the game. I figured I'd also record some old school EverQuest. Yeah, I mean, EverQuest is still going. There's still people playing. It's free to play. I just use my same login for EverQuest 2 to get logged in. So pretty much it's updated so I could play it. I just wanted to update it. I kind of started going back and played it in the past. So I have a couple of characters. Didn't get very far, but you're going to definitely see a difference in design. So you can see that with my Dark Elf, or just any of the characters, they've got, they look good. You're gonna be surprised. Well, it's a difference. So it's kind of like playing a really nice high definition game on like the PS4, PS5, Xbox, and then going back and playing like on the PlayStation 1 or even further back like on Nintendo and be like, how did I enjoy playing these games? The graphics are like terrible. I don't care about graphics. I love all of it. Kind of gives that nostalgia of me playing, because I actually played EverQuest originally when it first came out. And then I started EverQuest 2 when that popped out. I pre-ordered it, started playing it. Same with World of Warcraft. As soon as that came out, I pre-ordered it, started playing. I play Final Fantasy 14 from time to time. I did Lord of the Rings online for a bit, but I would play with like friends. Well, they've all dispersed and moved on to their lives or other games that they play, so don't really do Lord of the Rings. I've tried kind of loading into Lord of the Rings online, but for some reason it doesn't update, so I think I took it off the computer. I do Star Wars The Old Republic, played that pretty much once it came out, so pretty much any new online, massive multiplayer online game, I was there to either try it through like a beta test or beta version, or I picked it up and was playing it. I didn't do the DC online, only because not a huge DC fan, so the reason why I bought it is the collector's edition came with a Batman statue, and who doesn't like Batman, really? So that was the whole purpose there. But DC Online is actually part of the group that owns EverQuest too, so I could play DC Online for free. It is a free-to-play game, so I may look into that, see what that's like. Pretty much you create a superhero and do missions, same like you would in any other game. Well, anyways, I'm rambling. I have to cut this short so that way I can get ready for work. Thank you again for joining me this morning. I look forward to seeing who watches the videos. Don't feel obligated to, but hopefully you enjoyed me kind of telling you what I'm doing through this video. You have a great rest of your morning.